Hi, this is Aaron with SolarPenny.com. Today we're going to go over a little bit more information about the MC4 Y connector, also called the MC4 T connector. It keeps our panels in parallel so we can keep the positives together and the negatives together. A lot of people get confused because they're a little bit goofy how you hook them up. It's an easy way to hook up two panels for a basic 12-volt system. Kind of what we have is we have one connector, and it's simply combining is all it does. Is we have our two females here and it goes to one male. So we're going to put in our two positives into this one and we'll come out with one positive. It's a 2 into 1, just simply combines it. The same thing for our negative. We'll put our two females from panel 1 and panel 2 and we'll end up with one female coming out. Notice these do have red rings on here. Just kind of ignore that. Just look at the shapes, how they're going to interconnect. There's really no way we can reverse them. A lot of people stumble and think, well, I just need two wires going through. I don't need this. I can just take my male connector of my 12-volt panel and take it to my female connector on this panel, and that leaves me two wires going to my charge controller. The challenge with doing this is if we're doing a 12-volt system, we just double two 12-volt panels. We put them in what's known as series, where we want to keep them in parallel. So we have to keep the positive together and the negatives together. So in that first connector, where we have our two positives here and one negative, so we have two going in and one coming out. This is actually going to be our female connectors, which is going to be these lead cables right here and this lead cable here. This is our female. So we're going to take female from our first panel and connect it here. Notice it does go to a male connector on there. Just kind of, it's the only way we can do it on a basic solar setup. And you'll just push that in like that. Our female from our panel number 2 is also going to go right in that same connector. So we have our two females from their female junction box sides going in, and we have one female left over. This is going to go to our charge controller. We do the same thing with the male connectors. We're also going 2 into 1. Remember, we're going to take these two male connectors and connect them, keep them separate from the female because we want to keep it in what's called parallel. We're keeping the voltage at a basic 12-volt system. So we have our connector, has two females here and has one male here. Just ignore the coloring and the markings on it. We're just going to put our male, which is the one with the red ring from our panel, with a pointed end right there. And then we connect our other panel into that same connector. So what this does is it takes our males, our two positives, and gives us one positive coming out. Same thing with our female or our negatives. We go our two negatives going in, and we have our one negative going out. This is where we're going to hook in our lead cables going to our charge controller. This is where it gets a little funny, again, for the basic systems. When you look at this, this is our positive coming out. We know that because this is the male connector that combines our positives from our two panels. Notice again, we have to flip connectors again to kind of make the system work. People think, well, I have a male connector here, I'm going to take another male connector. There's no way to connect those together. So what we're going to do is take this female connector, tie it on there. This is still our positive connector, our positive wire going to our charge controller. So our positive wires coming out of our junction boxes, still our positive going to our charge controller. Same thing for the female. Notice for the female, we can't connect together a female connector and a female connector. And a lot of people think, well, this is female and this is female, I'm just going to put them together. There's obviously no way to do that. So we have to reverse it with a male connector and shove it in there. This is still going to be our female negative cable. You can see it's coming out of the junction box, the female cables, and this will go to our charge controller. That's basics of using an MC4 T or Y connector, combining it in parallel, and that's how it works. To order or purchase online, contact us at sales@SolarPenny and click on Connectors.